What's up, crypto media friends? Welcome back to another overtime show, bumping the E40. I own the rights to this song, YouTube. Thank you, Snoop Dogg and Mixtapes, for letting us use this track, because we own the rights when we buy the NFT of that particular track. And here I want to talk about emails that pop in randomly, and also go check out the video I just dropped a few seconds ago. It's about 29 seconds. It's a demo of IMMI, which is a new Paris Hilton sort of dropped her video today, but it shows sort of this apex really for me of performance in the metaverse and in the mirrorverse, utilizing AR. So meaning I can take even this like little NFT that you see in the corner here, and I can become them. So I can take that 3D model, put them into AR, meaning, and you can see in the video here in the office, just like, running a quick skit of like, what does this mean performance-wise? I think, I've demonstrated before with Adobe Aero, the way that works in a previous video. And, it is fun and I can control certain things, but certainly not the mouth reading and like the facial recognition was quite good. It was quite strong, especially this is all on mobile. And I was also able to, it wasn't able to track my body fully, but I was able to control a lot of its motions, dancing and stuff like that through button controls. And so that, interchange with just the facial recognition really gives rise to a performance. Please check mine out. So, but I think really it's something that I'm looking so forward to in this space of having the rights to your NFT, then having the rights of the character that you can then incorporate into scenes and bring that character, whether that's into the metaverse, whether that's into real scenes in the real life here in the IRL. Very inspiring stuff. IMMI. I'm not even paid by them because I don't have enough subscribers. I'm just hanging out with like you guys who are really into the metaverse, cryptocurrency, NFTs, and AR, the metaverse, and how it all works together as artists. That's what we talk about. And, we look at projects that we think are innovative in this space. And, I also like, when I do things like sometimes I chat about like things like Mechaverse. You'll see I didn't do a Mechaverse video. I saw that hype train. I didn't do a hype beast. When I see these massive hypes, I don't want to start throwing you guys under the bus. So please subscribe, hit the bell notification, because I curate based upon things I see that are interesting about a project, and I pick them out for that reason. And so, I did a postmortem on Mechaverse, and I said just a couple minutes of like, hey, this is why it kind of didn't work, and like, ostensibly, this is why it could work. It was a very odd play of like perhaps you could do 3D printing of the Mechaverse model, and I think I don't know if you guys have followed that project, but it was turned out to be one of those slow rugs, and I warn you guys about those slow rugs all the time. It's sort of a definition that's evolved, meaning that they really want to do something when they make these projects, but the community will beat the hell out of you if you do not deliver. And when you're not delivering in this highly anticipated, expected way of how hyped you were, hello, Hate Beast, you're going to suffer for it in terms of, people letting you know on that Discord. And it's about 2 months, 3 months where people literally crack and they can't take the pressure. It's just a natural thing that happens because nobody's expecting that. And, most of these people that have come together are technologists and artists, and they're not used to the customer service level that is a Discord and is interacting with a community that has the expectations of getting their bags pumped on a consistent basis, and not just, oh, here and then it's now we're building. No, I wanted to keep on continually grow my bags, and it's an unrealistic expectation, and that's why I try and find the gems for you guys. And talk about things that work, because I think that translates into value over time. And there's zero financial advice ever here, ever, guys, ever. This is all conjecture. This is all hearsay. But I've been doing this a while, and I work with really great projects. But today I want to check out Phantom Network, and I know that's super hyped, and I was tempted. I may have mentioned it before, but it's just like it was so hyped. and we go over that checklist of like, who's involved with it, and what is it, what are the utilities going to be, and all these great things. But the art was super, super compelling. I may have shared it because it's just proving to be everything they share, I think, is really next level. It's like it's a slightly a touch higher than most. Cyber brokers is just, this is a bit better in terms of just how clean it is. And again, better is very arbitrary, but I think in significance of playing within a genre. And so cyber brokers I like because it's got a unique take on sort of these particular characters. We went over why I wasn't a massive fan during the mint. So please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I do this live because Phantom Network minted their public sale an hour ago. Admittedly, I tried to get in on there, and I tried to sit in on there because it felt like they were trying to do something a bit different with their mint. And a lot of things happened in this mint that were different. The first and foremost being, they decided, hey, May 4th, may the 4th be with you. Let's do like this whole, you can see this really cool graphic of a Darth Vader-ish version of their character. And they said, hey, we're going to mint the public May 4th before the whitelist, which is now May 5th, which is tomorrow. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because this is in the moment. But here's the thing. So you get whitelist. Usually whitelist you mint, and then like you get into the public sale, and then you're like, oh wow, it's mooning. This is an interesting take because they've sort of primed the pump for the whitelist. So ostensibly, we'll go over the pricing right now of what's going on with it. But ostensibly you come out of that mint with a marketplace from the whitelist. And so whitelist, you can kind of get in there and like you speculate, and it's sort of a, people come out of mints, maybe with certain goals of like, I want 20% markup, I want X return on my investment immediately, because perhaps they're going to hold on to one and flip the other, like we talk about is common with minting strategies. And so in that process, though, some people are thinking, I'm going to take 20%, and then or 30%. So they have a certain thing in their mind. But in this sort of design, it's like you're coming into a much more developed marketplace. So you're not quite guessing as to what you're going to be flipping at. You're going to kind of know. And you're going to also kind of know that price is going to dip, right? Because supply is going to hit that marketplace. And I don't know if the demand is going to be high enough for all projects to do this, but certainly when you have 27,000 people in your Twitter, it's you can sort of move around a little bit more, right? And so just some of the pieces of art you can see. It was one of the things that really struck me, and so I always sort of vet these projects as soon as they come across my desk. I'm like, oh, cool! I was really excited about this one, but I could see how hyped it was getting, how quickly the hype was getting. It was just massive and immediate, because when you see that art, you start thinking, Oni Izuki, all this sort of this great lineage of anime-inspired projects in the space, and this is an art level that is of that caliber for sure. So props to the artist. We'll go over sort of who that I think that is in the it's an interesting breakdown. Again, these are part of the reasons why I sat in on it. I was like, maybe I'll mint, but I didn't want to recommend it because it seemed very thin, and I'll go over why. And this is no FUD, but I think that they had a very, very strong mint. The prices of this, it says 3.9 now. And this settled. This touched about 3.8, 3.9, maybe a couple changed hands at 4. I don't think so, but like 3.8, 3.9, and then it settled back down to 3. The number 888, 889, is a bit down. So you're getting some settling, but it was like upper 9s initially. But clearly, of course, because of the demand, you're going to have a lot of sales activity, and not too horrendous, to be honest. This isn't like, this is a couple a minute, and that's very healthy. So this is, a very healthy project. Not mind-blowing, mind you, but I didn't get a sense that they felt like they were hyping their own stuff either. Like certain projects have a hype machine that like sort of push, and they really press hard right after that mint, and so you get like, just hundreds of transactions every couple minutes. This, feels a bit more calm, I think, because again, you have an understanding that you have another 6,000 items that are going to be dropped tomorrow. But on the other hand, the people who are whitelisted, I think their max price is 0.35. That's right, 0.35. So they could ostensibly, if this market, if the floor holds and the supply holds, and people get excited about this project, they could ostensibly walk into what was a bit earlier. If it's at 3.5, a 10x, roughly, minus gas fees, right? And so, never any financial advice here, but what a great way to start your whitelist or your experience with a brand when you 10x your investment. You're only going to get 2 of these, so you can't get too greedy. But it's just always nice to kind of get like, oh, okay, this one's rare, fantastic. I'll hold on to this one, and then I'll sell my common if you are so lucky to do so. You have your choice, and so. But being able to sell at that price immediately is based upon, I think, just how awesome this art is, and so this is where I started to fall off a bit. So when you look into the project, you can see they're trying to establish sort of a world. This is a world building thing of phantoms and ghosts, and so these are the ghosts that are currently being minted, and they haven't been revealed yet. So you have, so you get in there and you're like, okay, what's the utility? Who's the team? And so this is the first thing I saw was just like, I was like, okay, let's check this out. And there was like classifieds. A crypto-based marketplace where you buy and sell your Web 2 items with Web3 coin. Very interesting because they're establishing utility for their PXN token, it looks like, as well as ETH. Expect a pool of some sort, but you're also looking at them trying to be eBay. And so I was just like, well, okay, maybe that's not underserved, and I think it was a great idea. But I also really got the vibe that they understood, hey, we're super hyped. Now we got to find some utility, my God. And they got together and they formulated, let's do eBay. And, that's cool. And then Rat was, not said. They redacted it, very comically funny. Haha, you don't get to know what we're doing. We're very secretive here. Every project feels like they're Fort Knox, right? They're just like this isolated thing. They got like secrets inside. They don't want to let you know, but it's so valuable. Oh, those secrets are so valuable. Don't believe the hype, guys. Look and ask for real information. Get into those discords. Ask around, because that's what I found is, when I went in there, did the due diligence, I just wasn't finding things were getting me excited beyond just, again, this cool art. This is just, it's outstanding. So the Ghost Division, they go over here. Here's a couple of samples of what I saw. Just like such great work in the eyes to make them pop and give them character, and the coloration is really just fantastic. It's on trend, and yet it's pushing it just a touch further into sort of the 3D space of believing that you get something of very high quality in that space, in that 3D space rendered in 2D. So hey, here's the origins, and then there's regimens. So they're trying to explain I think these regimens are like all over the world. Again, so I'm starting to think like, okay, cool. They're thinking about like localization. They're thinking about IRLs potentially, and the white boxes. Again, this sort of got me, and sort of I didn't understand where I was. exclusive cosmetics for your thing. You know, I don't call it cosmetics, please, guys. At this point, I think it doesn't quite make sense. Other than like, yeah, okay, if you read into it, you're like, okay, great, I can put on sunglasses and stuff. For my character, you can upgrade it potentially. You know, with wearables. And then the old whitelist spots. Best projects in the space. Perhaps a whitelist marketplace, which is kind of on trend right now. A very controversial thing, the whitelist marketplace. But nonetheless, I think they're trying to develop those as we go. And so, you know, when I look at the team, you know, you have people who've been, you know, in this space, and you know, I think that the heads of this come from Oxygen Labs, and I think Oxygen Labs, as we look into them, are really you know, they're a heavyweight now. They're just like, they have in 2 projects established themselves in a very, very massive way. See, I didn't see the artists here, so I don't. I guess they're not making it public, or, you know, that's the thing sometimes. Not all these are artist-driven projects, and, you know, you have to be honest about the artist involvement, because at a certain point they got to go make stuff. They have to make more stuff, so they can't sit on Discord for, you know, 24 hours a day with everybody. And I think sometimes that's the expectation, like, oh, artist-driven and fantastic, they should be here. Not everyone is like that. You know, they're all not Pablo. And you know, are super charming. Even you might not even want to hang out with these people for 24 hours. They're artists. They express themselves in really, you know, cool digital means, sitting at a computer, because that's the best way that they can express how they feel with you, another human. So probably not the best sometimes to have a conversation with all the time. And so, you know, it's breaking down these things. And you know, I just started looking at, you know, okay, well, who's Oxygen Labs? And it looks like, you know, they're looking to be a launch pad. And again, like, what a great way to go out, you know, swinging, come out swinging when you have, you know, it begins with an idea. This is the powerful thing, is like, you're getting more B2B services here in this space. And I think that is something as artists we need to look out for. And this is why, again, I'm looking at this project. I'm not looking at this project saying, hey, guys, go jump in and you know, buy it at 3 ETH to maybe go to 3.5 ETH. Or just like, we know I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to go down as soon as that project, you know, dumps its supply tomorrow. But it's going to bounce, and it's going to bounce back. And, you know, where it goes depends on the utility and the team. And that's what we look at. But here, I was very interested in their B2B service, you know, for people who have ideas. So maybe you have an idea and you have a full creative team and a project, and you want to share it with the world, and you just need to put it into an NFT. you need experience, and you need essentially, where is she? The one who said she's the professional shit talker. You need her, because it's a humble brag, but it is such an important part of the marketing of an NFT, to have somebody who can really engage on Discord as well as Twitter. Oxygen is the first of its kind NFT launchpad, which can help you navigate the path to success with the support of a dedicated and experienced community behind you. We come equipped with a proven methodology that will help you turn an idea into an MVP, become a fully minted out project, and blast you off into the first reaches of the metaverse. They're not lying when they have the first 2, NanoPass and this PXN, have done quite well. You know, they minted out. PXN's mint today was tumultuous, but they're trying things, and I think that's what I thought was super cool here as well. And so you would come to the website, and you would get a sort of in a queue. And so, you know, I'm sure just hundreds of thousands of us sat in this queue like we had a prayer. Like, it was hilarious, because, you know, we have other programs where we have like Discord running, and like, you know, you're checking in with your friends, like, hey, are you in this waiting room? Yes, I'm in this waiting room too. And we're just watching these numbers tick off as these seemingly, it says like, as humans are checked off. And so we thought like, oh, is that the number of mints that are making? So, you know, I got in there very like in the hundreds. So I was just like, oh, like, just timing wise, do I have a shot at this? And so I sit in here, and 20 minutes goes by, and it's just counting one by one, and I'm just like, gas prices are a little high, but they're not exceedingly high. So I think what they did is they, came up with a scenario where they were able to create the catch with, everyone who came in. Ostensibly, if they're in a queue, that's amazing. And then just kind of, as they're in there, which sucked because I got kicked out so many times. So I felt like, I was like, something's happening, but then it just kicked me out. And then I had to re-queue. So that was really frustrating from the minting side. But I did appreciate they tried to do something that spaced it out, because when you have all those transactions hitting at that same minute, that's when you have the gas prices that are, I've got the screenshots. They're on the show. Go check them out. $20,000, $30,000 gas fees. Astronomical, ridiculous. But here, I didn't see anything go over 500 Gwei, but that was towards the end, and, that could have been something else on the gas meter. But looking at it, it was just like, okay, cool. And then you go like, well, what does secondary look like? And, I jump into secondary, and you're like, okay, it's pre-reveal. This is, one of the good stages. And at the time, it was like at 2.3. Again, people were coming in there. They had paid 2 ETH on a Dutch auction, and they just wanted to get their 20%. They wanted to get their 30%. And so it felt like, well, should I, close some positions out and maybe make an attempt here? Because, again, I was just, when you come out of a mint and you don't get it, you really get super angsty, and you shouldn't do that, guys. You shouldn't do that. But I did, and I'm going to talk you through it. So I was just like, okay, great. Maybe I should, get into this. I should sell some other things. So I started liquidating. And then a friend of mine on Discord was like, hey, watch out. There is something going on with the OpenSea. And I had never heard of this before, but they talk about it with a link. I think maybe they took that post down because they didn't want, I think they must have gotten it sorted, but they took it down clearly because there was a hey, it seems OpenSea had some vulnerability in this, and meaning that, sometimes when you go and you search, you're like, oh gosh, I want to, get some PXN, you'll get pin. Come on, I didn't even type that. Autocorrect. Get to know PXN, Ghost Division. But you'll type this in and you'll get other ones down below you'll see PXN underscore something. You'll get other projects that are clearly fake because they only have maybe the 69 items or 12 items, and they're trying to scam off of some. And so, but this one, you're 4,000, you're oh, that's probably it, because you're this pre-mint / public mint, and then you have the other mint following. And so you kind of make a lot of assumptions based on the number of items. And so I go into that, and then there was something about, though, once you clicked on it. So once you clicked on the individual item, it was somehow taking people to OpenSea is not going to play. Broken Sea, come on. It's never gonna no, it's not gonna work. It's never really gonna focus when you want it to, but essentially, look, you can see the price is already down, so that that floor price here is inaccurate. Again, anytime things are minting, a lot of inaccuracies, even in the supply, and even in the amount of items available. So it looks like that is now down to 255. So again, this touched 38, 39, guys, an hour ago. This is down significantly. No fight or anything. It's just, that's kind of just naturally what happened. There was a lot of people who obviously were selling at least one of theirs. Then because the price was hot, so you could make a hot ETH or something. And so, but when you look at it, it's it had a vulnerability. It was just very, very weird and very, very strange. And everybody on Discord started screaming about it, and they addressed it very quickly on Twitter, and it seems to be gone now and resolved. But there was something about OpenSea somehow was unable to distinguish between collections and took a fake collection. And it was very, very curious because the file name was just slightly off. A V2 instead of V2 was like a dash V2. So this is a very sophisticated operation that was somehow able to fool OpenSea into combining that collection into this main collection. Again, this is a brief hot minutes, we'll say like 15, 20 minutes at least, of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then perhaps that was affecting the floor price, and that was affecting the sales, the secondary sales, and they may have tried to keep that hush-hush after it was fixed. And so, but it happened, guys, and this video will be on YouTube, and there'll be a record of it when they disappear my body. But like, it's something to know when you're looking at secondary sales, because I saw on Twitter people were getting completely wrecked, and especially at these prices, that's disastrous. That is, if somebody's doing something 2829, that's like nearly $9,000. That's a lot of money for a lot of people, and that's no joke. And so that team will handle however it handles it, but there was something amiss with OpenSea. So, just be cautious about that. I always share these things, and again, this is why I'm sharing this. I'm not saying, oh, go run out and, PXN is going to moon and all these sort of things. I'm bringing it to you because there was something very significant that happened here with the marketplace, a marketplace that we all trust, that we need to watch a little closely, because people are getting very sophisticated. The scammers and the hackers are getting the scams that I'm hearing these days are getting so sophisticated, guys, because the stakes are very high. And the scammers, they did well today because they were poaching, at $8,000, $7,000 a pop. And that's good money, hacking and poaching. So keep an eye out for collections as they mint, especially the big heavy ones, and how they're the secondary sales. Be a bit cautious, and maybe I'll review once there's sort of a post-mortem on exactly what happened. But it happened, and I do this live because I want you guys to be protected. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you safely on